ready to hand out some more gold, ready for another final. We're gearing up for the women's 800 meters. This is going to be spectacular, and this is what's referred to as the rock star introductions, and appropriately so. Coming out onto the track now for Team USA, Raven Rogers.
She says her motto is to run without fear. She says she used to be really fearful. Now she's just having fun and trusting the process. It's her third World Championships. She does have a silver from Worlds 4 years ago.
Open me. This is...
That was Moraa coming out there, Mary Moraa of Kenya, who will be a contender. And there are two women from Great Britain, Team Great Britain, you need to keep an eye on. First up, Gemma Reekie.
I thought that she has looked just about invincible during the rounds. But this is the final, and with the presence of Hodgkinson and Mu, we'll see. She won her semifinal.
And this is her teammate, Keely Hodgkinson. If there is anyone who could give Athing Mu a challenge for this title, it is this young woman on your screen. She has the fastest time in the world this year, has competed really well, and been looking really strong through the rounds, Lee.
And guess what, Son? She's excited about racing this woman. This woman being the Olympic champion, world champion from Team USA, Athing Mu.
And so deserving of the welcome from the crowd. There have been a lot of superstars that have emerged in the sport on Team USA, and Athing Mu is one of them. You mentioned it, Lee. She is the world champion, Olympic champion, but this season she comes in severely under-raced, right? She's only competed in 800 meters prior to competing in the 2 rounds here, and of course her 3 1500 meter races at US Nationals.
Yeah, it's been a different year for the young superstar. We flash you back now to the Olympic trials in 2021. And you see that very similar situation than we had 2 nights ago in the 800 semifinals. But like she did 2 nights ago, she recovered and won the Olympic trials, and then would go on to win the Olympic gold and break the American record that year. And then 2 nights ago, Sonia, in the semifinal.
And this one was scary, Otto. I mean, she was completely flipped around. She was facing the crowd on the backstretch. And I think that got to her just a little bit. We saw her kind of get quickly off the track. She hasn't done any interviews, but I know that she's ready to do something big tonight.
Can I share an observation with you both?
Yeah.
Her smile is one of the best you've ever seen. It has been absent at these championships. It seems to be a very serious and solemn Athing Mu. It's not the Athing Mu that I've come to know and recognize.
Yeah, and we've been trying to read it sort of all week. I've been trying to guess maybe, you know, she's a little worried about her preparation. Maybe she's just focused. Look, we have seen her mature. She's not a teenager anymore. We'll see now.
This is for a medal. This is for a world championship. Women's 800 meters underway.
And part of the reason that we think Athing Mu needs to get out of traffic is because, look, she's a little taller. You see how long those legs are? She needs more space behind her. So she is not hesitating, Sonia. She has gone immediately to the front. Of course, Keely Hodgkinson follows her. And who follows both of them? Gemma Reekie.
Listen, after what happened in the semifinal run, I am sure her coach, Bobby Kersey, said, you get to the front and you run clear of this field. Athing Mu can win this race from anywhere, but she's best when she runs from the front.
But Lee, I have to think that the Brits will be counting on this. They're like, look, if we can stay close. Remember, Hodgkinson was a step behind at Worlds last year. The Brits and Moraa have to be thinking, maybe she's vulnerable. She's under-raced.
Back a little further are the other 2 US women, Nia Akins and Raven Rogers. Halfway home, and Athing Mu takes a quick look up at the big screen to see Moraa behind her and Gemma Reekie.
This is going to be a good race, Lee. You mentioned the Americans in the back. We didn't get a chance to set them up, but they too have looked good through the rounds, and everyone here has a very good kick. At the moment, we see Athing Mu opening it up a bit, but not that big of a gap yet. Moraa still right on her heels.
Akins has to move now to be able to summon that kick in the last 100. and so does Raven Rogers. They have to get closer to the Brits. They're doing that now.
Athing Mu was chased down at home by Keely Hodgkinson, and here comes the Brit. She's moved up into third, but Mary Moraa of Kenya, the 23-year-old, is not letting Athing Mu go.
And Athing is off the rail. She has a space on the inside. Here comes Hodgkinson.
Hodgkinson on the inside, Moraa on the outside. We have never seen this. We have never seen Athing Mu passed like this in the home stretch. Mary Moraa of Kenya wins the world title. Keely Hodgkinson silver, Athing Mu bronze.
What a fitting end to these World Championships, which have been so unpredictable and full of so much drama. Athing Mu has not lost an 800-meter final outdoors in years. She'll be the bronze medalist tonight as Moraa pulls the upset.
Drama, drama, drama. These World Championships have delivered every single night. We keep saying it. There's not been a bad final on the track or in the field. What a bold run for Athing Mu, who, like we mentioned prior to the race, at just 21 years old, hadn't had the kind of schedule that would prepare her to come out here and defend the title. But guess what? She showed up anyway.
Yep.
And that's the champion spirit. You come out here, you defend that title, and Athing Mu had it up until the final 100.
She never looked comfortable. With 100 meters to go, I took a look at her face and I went, oh boy, we're gonna see what she's made of tonight. Listen, nobody, that's the beauty of this sport. Nobody reigns forever. And Athing Mu has been unbeatable as a pro, and she has not lost as a pro until tonight. She came off of the turn, Moraa was right there. I was more worried about Hodgkinson, but Moraa's night was tonight, and even Hodgkinson, who now gets her third silver in 3 years, one at the Olympics and 2 at Worlds, had no response for the brilliant tactics of Moraa. So Kenya, you have an 800-meter world champion yet again, and oh, this is going to motivate Athing Mu so much.
First Kenyan 800 world champion since Eunice Sum was upgraded 10 years ago to the gold. How about that? And continuing the theme of these incredible world championships.
And you said it, Otto. I mean, talk about the motivation. Sometimes when you just win, and you always have the target on your back, it's hard to find motivation in practice. Do you think Athing Mu will be short of motivation going into Paris? Absolutely not. Nope. She'll want to defend an Olympic title, be on that 4x4 relay again, and dominate for Team USA.
But we told you at the top, coming into a World Championships, only having run one 800-meter race for the year, it's kind of like you saw with Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price in the 100, right?
Yeah, yeah.
She came in, of course, hers was due to injury, came in under race, and it's like, okay, she's a champion, but the rest of the world is ready and sharper than she is. So the same thing here with Athing Mu, she has to settle for the bronze.
What an 800-meter final. Kenya with the gold, Great Britain the silver, and Team USA the bronze with Athing Mu.
Well, I think from the gun, you took the early lead, and why don't you just kind of describe how the race developed from there?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like semis kind of shook me up a little bit just because, you know, I got in a lot of trouble just the whole duration of the race, so I wanted to make sure this go-around I got out. I didn't know what the pace would be just because obviously we're running with a lot of fast athletes, so who knows who's going to take the lead. I just wanted to make sure that I set up the race to where it could be, where I could be successful, and I mean, I'm proud of how it went through 750 meters, and then it just kicked in a little bit. But I think it was a really good race for me, given that I did go out pretty fast. But, I mean, I'm proud of it. Still happy with how well I did and finishing as strong as I could.
I can surely speak for us. We were so glad to see that you declared, maybe America as well. But can you kind of step back and take us through the process of how you decided whether to come or not to show up at these Worlds and compete? How did that work out?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the past couple months for me have been really rough. I've been going through a lot of stuff, transitioning a whole lot, and so, I mean, my mental just wasn't super great, and I mean, it took me a while, even while being in these, here this past week and a half, it took me a while just to get really locked into, you know, the fact that I'm racing, just being out here competing again, and so we kind of just wanted to take it slow and not feel obligated to come out here. I know a lot of people wanted to see me run, but, you know, I'm still 21. I've done a lot in the past 3 years, and so, I mean, just trying to take these meets day by day and you know, year by year as it goes, and just see you know, work the best with Bobby to see what's best for me and him.
Real life still happens to a 21-year-old, right? Alrighty. Thanks for stopping by, and congratulations on this, and we look forward to 24 in Paris.
Yeah, I appreciate it. See y'all soon.